I'm Barrie Herrold, and welcome to the first episode of Poetry and Songwriting by Barrie Herrold. This is kind of a bit of an experiment. It should be available wherever you get your podcasts and YouTube. And I'd like to start with a recommendation. I've been listening to Frank Skinner's poetry podcast, and I don't know if he's been picked up for this year, but there's at least a couple of years of his exploration into poetry, and it's really interesting. Even if you're not that interested in poetry, I think the way he gets into it and explains it is really cool, because he's so excited about it and passionate. It's gets you into it. So it has made me think about starting to read some of the classics, and I think it's worth it. Yeah. So yeah, that got me thinking about what I'm going into today, which is a poem song called Adrift. And it's really around this whole pandemic and what we're all, I guess, experiencing with. I feel like it kind of feels like, what's the point in trying to do anything, because we're going to get locked down anyway, so there's no really any point in doing anything. Just got to wait until things hopefully get better. But I guess on the other side of that, it is a time of getting ready for things to start moving again. And I guess it's in those times that it's yeah, you've just got to wait for the wind to pick up again. And when I was coming up with this idea for this poem song, I went out to a beach near where I live and set up my camera and watched the sunset. And it was really cool. There was this couple happened to walk past, and if you watch it on YouTube, you can see this little couple on the waterline walking past. And it got me thinking about being in a relationship is kind of like that. You go through times where you're just adrift and you don't know if it's going to keep going or you're just going to go in separate directions. And I guess when you're alone, you think being in a couple is going to fix it and it's going to solve everything, but then it doesn't. And you're two lonely people alone together or not. And I don't know, life is tough. As you get older, I think life gets easier and more complicated. But yeah, the good thing is that people care less about what you do, which is kind of why I'm doing the podcast, because nobody cares. I could do whatever I want, and it doesn't really affect anyone, and I might as well. And it's the same with my voiceover. I'm just starting out. I'm just testing the water, and I feel like I've gotten so far out that there's really no point in going back. I might as well keep going, and we'll see what happens. So let's get into it. This is Adrift. We were lost souls on the waves, hoping the next would carry us home. But we are adrift on the sea, too far out to go back. The way forward is too hard to make out. There was a moment I remember. The clouds parted, the world stood still. On the horizon, green rolling hills. But we are adrift on the sea, too far out to go back. The way forward is too hard to make out. I don't know how this started. I don't know how it ends. We were ships in the night passing by. All our loose ends are tied, and it's time for a new season. But we are adrift on the sea, too far out to go back. The way forward is too hard to make out. And that is the first episode. It's going to be, I think I'll just do it like that. It'll be short, sharp. I don't want to spend a whole hour going into it. These will probably be like 20 minutes at the most. And yeah, it'll be on pretty much everywhere you get your podcasts. Hopefully, so far, I think I've worked it out. It's, there. And next week, I've got another idea for a poetry song that I'll do a little music video for. I'll see how we go. And I think I'll just do this. It's a good, this will be a monthly thing. And I think it's a good a good way of creating something every month that's going to be interesting. So I'll see you next time on Poetry and Songwriting by Barrie Herrold. I'll play myself out. We were lost souls on the waves, hoping the next would carry us home. But we are adrift on the sea, too far out to go back. The way forward's too hard to make out now. There was a moment I remember, the clouds parted, the world stood still. The horizon, green rolling hills. But we are adrift on the sea, too far out to go back. The way forward's too hard to make out now. Don't know how to start it, how it's gonna end. We were ships in the night, all out loose, ends are tight, and it's time for a new season. We are adrift on the sea, too far out to go back. The way forward